The impossible happened on July 14th, 1979 at the British Grand Prix. A small, underfunded team operating out of an old carpet warehouse shocked the motorsport world. They didn't just compete, they won. It was the day when David beat Goliath, when passion triumphed over money, and when Formula One witnessed the birth of a new powerhouse. This victory was so unexpected that the team didn't even have champagne to celebrate. Who were these underdogs, and how did they go from zeros to heroes? Chapter 1: The Early Years. It all began in 1967 with a determined young man named Frank Williams. A passionate racing enthusiast, Williams founded Frank Williams Racing Cars with little more than his wits and a burning desire to compete at the highest level. But the road to success was far from smooth. For years, the team struggled to even score points. They were the underdogs operating on a shoestring budget when relying on pay drivers to keep the lights on. Frank Williams was known to sleep on friends' couches, pouring every penny back into his racing dream. The turning point came in 1977, thanks to a stroke of luck and some Arabian sponsorship money. Williams partnered with brilliant engineer Patrick Head to found Williams Grand Prix Engineering. They moved into a new factory in Oxfordshire, laying the foundation for what would become a racing empire. In 1978, with Australian driver Alan Jones at the wheel, the team began to show promise. Jones scored a fourth-place finish early in the season, followed by a second place in the United States Grand Prix. The F1 world was starting to take notice of the scrappy British team. But it was 1979 that would prove to be the watershed year for Williams. They recruited Clay Regazzoni as their second driver and unveiled their new car, the Williams Ford FW07. This machine was a game changer, featuring ground effect aerodynamics that would revolutionize F1 car design. On July 14, 1979, history was made. At the British Grand Prix, Clay Regazzoni crossed the finish line first, securing Williams' maiden victory. The emotion was palpable as Frank Williams and Patrick Head embraced in the pit lane, tears of joy streaming down their faces. The floodgates had opened. Alan Jones went on to win the next 3 races in succession. In just 2 short years, Williams had gone from backmarkers to frontrunners. But this was only the beginning. Chapter 2: The Rise of Prominence. As the 1980s dawned, Williams F1 was no longer the plucky underdog. They had tasted victory, and they were hungry for more. The 1980 season would prove to be a turning point not just for Williams, but for Formula One as a whole. Alan Jones, the tough-as-nails Australian, piloted the Williams FW07B to 5 victories that year. His aggressive driving style, combined with the technical brilliance of Patrick Head's designs, proved to be an unstoppable combination. Jones clinched the Drivers' World Championship, while Williams secured their first Constructors' title. The team that had once struggled to even qualify for races was now sitting atop the Formula One world. But Williams wasn't content to rest on their laurels. They continued to innovate, pushing the boundaries of what was possible in F1 car design. In 1982, they introduced active suspension to Formula One, a technology that would revolutionize the sport. This computer-controlled system could adjust the car's ride height on the fly, providing optimal performance in all conditions. The team's success attracted top-tier talent. In 1987, they signed Nelson Piquet, already a 2-time world champion. Paired with the British Lion Nigel Mansell, Williams had a driver lineup that was the envy of the paddock. The 2 drivers pushed each other to new heights, with Piquet ultimately clinching the 1987 World Championship for Williams. Chapter 3: Dominating the Grid. The late 1980s and early 1990s saw Williams reach new heights of success. Their partnership with Renault, which began in 1989, would prove to be one of the most fruitful in F1 history. The Williams-Renault combination was nearly unbeatable, with the French engines providing the perfect complement to Williams' chassis designs. In 1992, Williams achieved what many considered to be the pinnacle of F1 dominance. The FW14B, driven by Nigel Mansell, was in a league of its own, featuring active suspension, traction control, and anti-lock brakes. It was the most technologically advanced F1 car ever built. Mansell won the first 5 races of the season in succession, a feat that had never been achieved before. He would go on to win 9 races that year, securing the World Championship with a then record of 108 points. The following year, 1993, saw Williams reach even greater heights. Alain Prost, the cerebral Frenchman known as the Professor, joined the team and promptly won his 4th World Championship. The Williams FW15C was so dominant that it won 10 out of the 16 races that season. But it was in 1994 that would prove to be the most pivotal year in Williams' history. They signed Ayrton Senna, widely regarded as the greatest driver of all time. The combination of Williams' engineering prowess and Senna's otherworldly talent seemed unbeatable. But fate had other plans. On May 1, 1994, at the San Mariano Grand Prix, Senna's Williams car left the track at the high-speed Tamburello corner and hit the concrete barrier. The world watched in horror as the unthinkable happened. Ayrton Senna, the unbeatable champion, had suffered fatal injuries. The team was devastated, but in true Williams spirit, they persevered. Damon Hill, son of former world champion Graham Hill, stepped up to lead the team. Against all odds, Hill nearly won the championship that year, losing out to Michael Schumacher in the final race under controversial circumstances. Williams bounced back in 1996 and 1997, and Jacques Villeneuve winning back-to-back championships. Hill's championship was particularly poignant, as he became the first son of a world champion to win the title himself. As the 1990s drew to a close, Williams had cemented their place in F1 history. They had won 9 Constructors' Championships and 7 Drivers' World Championships. Only Ferrari had won more constructor titles. The little team that had started in an old carpet warehouse had become a true F1 powerhouse. Chapter 4: The Challenging Years. As the new millennium dawned, Williams F1 found themselves facing unprecedented challenges. The landscape of Formula One was changing rapidly, with manufacturer-backed teams like Ferrari and McLaren Mercedes pouring vast resources into the sport. For an independent team like Williams, competing at the highest level was becoming increasingly difficult. The team's partnership with BMW, which began in early 2000, initially showed promise. Drivers Ralf Schumacher and Juan Pablo Montoya brought speed and excitement, securing multiple victories between 2001 and 2003. The highlight came at the 2001 San Mariano Grand Prix, where Ralf Schumacher scored the team's first win of the new era. The Williams BMW FW25 of 2003 was particularly competitive, allowing the team to challenge for both championships. However, the relationship between Williams and BMW was often strained. The German manufacturer wanted more control over the team's operations, something Frank Williams was unwilling to concede. This tension, coupled with a lack of consistent results, led to BMW's departure at the end of 2005. The loss of BMW's backing hit Williams hard. The team found themselves shuffling between engine suppliers, using Cosworth power in 2006, Toyota from 2007 to 2009, and then returning to Cosworth for 2010 and 2011. This lack of stability made it difficult for Williams to develop competitive cars consistently. Despite these challenges, there were still moments of brilliance. At the 2012 Spanish Grand Prix, Pastor Maldonado shocked the F1 world by taking pole position and converting it into a victory. It was Williams' first win in 8 years and a reminder of the team's potential. Chapter 5: The Quest for Resurgence. In 2013, Claire Williams, Frank's daughter, took over the day-to-day running of the team. This changing of the guard coincided with a renewed push to return Williams to the front of the grid. A key part of this strategy was a switch to Mercedes power units in 2014, a move that would prove crucial in the team's resurgence. The 2014 season saw a dramatic turnaround in Williams' fortunes. A driver lineup of Felipe Massa and Valtteri Bottas, the team secured 3rd place in a Constructors' Championship, their best result in years. The Williams FW36 was particularly strong on high-speed circuits, allowing the team to challenge for podiums and even victories. This renaissance continued into 2015 and 2016, with Williams maintaining their position as one of the top teams in F1. However, as the sport entered a new era of regulations in 2017, Williams once again found themselves slipping down the order. The team's focus on young drivers like Lance Stroll and George Russell showcased their commitment to nurturing talent, but results on the track were hard to come by. The 2019 season proved to be particularly challenging, with the team scoring just a single point all year. Chapter 6: Williams Racing in the Present Day. In August 2020, a significant chapter in Formula One history came to an end. The Williams family sold the team to Dorilton Capital, an American investment firm. For the first time since 1977, Williams would no longer be a family-run team. The new owners had pledged to honor the Williams legacy while providing the resources needed to compete in modern Formula One. They brought in experienced personnel, including former Volkswagen Motorsport director Josh Capito as CEO, to help steer the team back to competitiveness. The 2021 season showed some signs of improvement, with George Russell and Nicholas Lafferty securing 23 points between them. While still a far cry from their glory days, it was a step in the right direction. The team continued to make changes, bringing in experienced personnel and investing in new technologies. In 2022, they welcomed Alex Albon to partner with Nicholas Lafferty, and later Logan Sargent joined the team for 2023. While success hasn't been immediate, there's a renewed sense of optimism around Williams. The new owners have pledged to respect the team's heritage while providing the resources needed to return to competitiveness. What do you think? Do you believe Williams can return to their former glory in the coming years? Share your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.